to the people at Mars and see whether we can come over and have a lovely chat with you. So thank you, Sophie, for asking. Nicole wants me to choose between peanut and pretzel. Nicole, 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 I cannot choose between peanut and pretzel. It's like choosing your favorite child. They're both equally as loved to me, and I can't. But thank you for choosing that question to ask me. Let's watch that Super Bowl ad again that got so much attention. So then I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it!
I'm sexy and I know it. Ay. Look at that body. Look at that body. Look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah.
You enjoyed that spot. John Haya is confused. She wondered whether I was naked in the Super Bowl ad. Well, if you listen carefully, you can hear some fool snickering at my brown candy shell, and he thought I was naked. And of course, I told him that only a fool would think that I was naked because this is my color of brown. And then Red showed up, disrobed, started the party, and, well, we know how that all turned out. Poor Red. It was more embarrassing for him than for me. But John Haya, thank you for asking. Sue from Indy, where were you born? I was born in Pennsylvania in 1941. And I enjoy my time going to an Ivy League college. Again, I graduated summa cum laude, and I ended up working for Mars Chocolate. And they gave me the title of Chief Chocolate Officer, which we call CCO. And it was up to me to determine what the future of the M&M's brand was. And I decided to introduce colors. So I came up with the red, the yellow, the blue, the orange, and the green. And of course, I was always the original brown. And the colors were my brainchild. So after the past 70 years of focusing on M&M's being the best-selling candy in the world, I've taken lots of time and been in the boardrooms, traveled across the globe, researched and developed perfect chocolate recipes in labs, and I studied cocoa to come up with the next great marketing idea. Yes, I am the brains behind the brand success for the years, but I'm so happy to be out in front after 70 years and be the spokesperson. You know, I'm not your average chocolate, and now it's an opportunity for people to see that. Co wants to know if I've been to Singapore. I have been all over the world, and I thank you for contacting us from Singapore. It's a wonderful country, and I can't wait to return. Mike Brewer wants to know if I'll be getting a reality show. Well, if they want to make a reality show about the best candy in the world, I am the best person to come to. But in the meantime, I'll be appearing on another celebrity reality show called The Celebrity Apprentice. And that starts Sunday, February 19th on NBC. Okay, get those questions in, guys. Only a few more minutes before I need to run. Let's watch that commercial one more time. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it!
I'm sexy and I know it. Ay. Look at that body. Look at that body. Look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah.
Go to Slate. Go to Slate. Go to Slate. Gotta go to Slate. Gotta go to Ustream Slate. Ustream Slate.
Please bring those questions in, guys. It sounds like you've got a few more questions till we wrap it up in a few minutes. Jody from Chicago, do I have any fashion tips? Well, Jody, as you can see, glasses are truly the trend. Of course, I use them because I need them, but I make sure that they're absolutely chic. I am wearing Judith Ripka jewelry in the Super Bowl ad spot, and of course, a nice pair of white pumps always sets off the outfit perfectly. And of course, if you choose to wear brown, it's always a classic color, and of course, I think it's the best. Mary Wright wants to know if I'm married. Well, Mary, I would have loved to be married, but I'm so busy focused on my life in milk chocolate that I am not married. But thank you for asking, and who knows what'll happen in the future. Carl Davis, have you considered dark chocolate M&Ms? Well, everyone loves dark chocolate M&Ms, don't they? So we'll see. I'll bring that back to the boardroom and see what we can come up with to expand our brand. But I always thank you for the suggestion. Paul wants to know why it took me so long to make my debut. Well, Paul, yes, it did take 70 years for me to come back from behind my desk as Chief Chocolate Officer, but no time is like the present. Thank you so much. Purple Ninja wants to know what's my favorite music. Well, classical, of course. I love the symphony, and any song title that has the name Brown in it. Probably Jackson Browne would be one of my favorites. John from Springfield, what car do you drive? I don't know. I don't really. I walk most of the time, and if I do need a car, they hire a driver, and the car is usually the color brown. But thank you, John, for asking. Mike says, I look good for 70. What's my secret? Well, as you can tell, milk chocolate doesn't crack. It's the best. My biggest problem is staying away from the heat so I don't melt. But when it's nice and cool, there's nothing better than milk chocolate. Thank you so much, Mike. Keep those questions coming. What did you think of my Super Bowl ad, people? Michelle Allen, M&M's rock, and so do you. Well, thank you, Michelle. We're so happy that you enjoyed the Super Bowl ad, and we're so happy you enjoy M&M's. This is the last question, people. Your last chance to call in for questions. I've got to go and open the Museum of Chocolate Art, which is in New York, today. So please come and ask. Do we have one more? I think we have time for one more question. And the last question is Jim from Philly. Who are you rooting for the big game? Well, Jim, I was rooting for great numbers for our Super Bowl ad, and we certainly got them. So thank you so much for asking. Well, thank you all for calling in. That was fun. I hope you found it enlightening. And I'd love to stay and chat, but my car is waiting to whisk me off to more interviews and meetings. And unlike Red, some of us actually have to go to work. So be sure to follow me on Twitter at MMS Brown. Ta-ta.